When the author says that all things are created twice, what he means is that there's a first creation, which is mental, and then the second creation, that is physical. The point of this concept is that we need to be self-aware and take responsibility when making that first creation in certain aspects of our lives. This will affect the outcome because if we're not aware or being proactive, then it allows for outside forces to influence the second creation. The idea that all things are created twice directly relates to habit number 2, which is to begin with the end in mind. The author emphasizes that we need to envision and plan for the future in order to reach our desired outcome. Habit number 3 is really about prioritizing in order to accomplish things more efficiently and promote good time management. For me, this habit is very important because organization and planning aren't my strong point. When I first moved away from home and started college, I had a very go-with-the-flow attitude. I didn't plan things out very well, and I've realized that I can't always get away with that anymore. If I leave things to the last minute, then I either won't get to them or I won't do them properly, so it's better for me to plan things out by week. Whether it's school, work, or personal matters, it helps to plan things a week before and prioritize them to make sure that everything gets done. For example, when it comes to schoolwork, I write out everything that's due for the week and prioritize it by due date and what's more important. Also, for work, I have to prioritize what needs to get done first and what takes precedence over the other things.
For me, thinking win-win isn't just about being nice or finding a quick fix for an issue because, if you're being nice, that usually leads to a win-lose outcome. And if you're just trying to come up with a quick fix to an issue, that usually leads to a compromise. So for me, I think thinking win-win is really more of a character-based language for collaboration. For me, being naturally competitive, it's definitely a little bit more of a paradigm shift to really actually think win-win and think cooperatively rather than competitively. I always try to balance or just have a balance in all aspects of my life. So I feel like this book sort of really opened my eyes to being balanced sort of in another area of my life. Or just, yeah, and not really thinking in terms of either or, but kind of both. So habit 5, this chapter really resonated with me. I have always known the importance of communication in life, or at least what I thought communication was. But after reading this chapter, I really realized, listening to understand is equally as important, if not more, as trying to communicate your point of view. So I feel like this is definitely a big paradigm shift for me, to not listen to reply, but firstly listen to understand and not try and understand their point through my personal life experiences or point of view, but through theirs, as well as, trying to develop an opinion about what they're saying before they even finish making their point. I'm naturally pretty stubborn, so before reading this chapter, I definitely think I would seek to be understood first, but there's definitely a difference between hearing someone and actually really listening to someone. So habit 6, synergize. I definitely agree with the book that you can't master synergy until you've mastered all the other habits kind of leading up to this point. I'm definitely guilty of listening to people autobiographically and just responding, by evaluating or probing or advising. But I feel like almost now that I've put a name to it, it'll almost be easier for me to be conscious about it and work on preventing it. To me, synergy is simply that two heads are better than one. It's about teamwork and definitely keeping an open mind. And through the process, being able to spark ideas in someone that they may not have thought of if you weren't collaborating. It's not about just being open-minded. Like, open-mindedness is not just willing to agree, because that's compromising, but you really have to apply thinking win-win to when you're synergizing. I don't want to speak for everyone, but going to FINM, I think we're all fairly familiar with group projects and working as a team, but rarely are people genuinely open to each other's influence, so they can't really gain new insight. But often, creating new approaches is gained from, people's differences, or different opinions. So, and this can only be agreed upon in a collaborative way if people have, mastered the preceding 5 habits, not just being open to differences just to, move on. I think valuing differences is what really drives synergy.